Alrighty, we'll take a look here at the defense as it rolls out here from the side Nubris, a team that we have not seen in quite a while, though the year they've been swinging quite a bit behind the scenes. It's gonna be Buds on the Junkrat, Vonethil on Symmetra, IDDQD on the 76 in the backline, Kusta on Lucio, Stoop on Reinhardt, and Cool Matt 69 going to be on the Reaper.
Alright, so already some new stuff out of this roster. We haven't seen very much Junkrat, although Hollywood is a little bit more. We've seen less and less Symmetra, although Hollywood is still kind of Symmetra-ish. I think Cloud9 may still run her here and there. IDDQD, of course, that hit scan specialist. We think Soldier 76 is great on defense on this map, so he's going to prove us right here.
One funny thing, by the way, is that Cool Matt 69 is definitely the most just the trollest name in top level competition, because you look at it as like, oh my god, how am I losing to this person? And yet, in reality, despite his name being super troll, he is one of the very best players in the scene, by many people's standards, a true tier 1 DPS. So he catches people off guard. It's like, oh god, why am I losing to someone named like this? Well, in actuality, he's really good.
It is kind of a... It's an interesting name. I know it would tilt me if I got shot by Cool Matt 69.
If you didn't know who he was, it's like, yeah. What?
Why is this happening to me? So offensively, they're going to run a Pharah and a Mercy combo. That's Nicholas and Shake. JKW is going to be on Reinhardt. Torque and Harblu are going to play tanks as well, and this is similar composition to what we've seen out of them. And Zarya and Street Pig and Joe Meister will play Lucio.
So offensive Gale Force right now looking for an opportunity, looking for some poke. IDDQD very content to be in the back. Does get knocked off though, and that's a pain for a soldier. It's actually not that easy to get back up on that elevator. So good concussive blast, but oh my goodness, Harblu already almost biting the dust. We'll be able to take a breather. Really good defensive poke right now coming up from the side Nubris. They're keeping Gale Force back.
Yeah, they've
not letting Gale Force go forward with speed. And oh my goodness, the jukes from Cool Matt just dispatching Harblu with ease.
Well, that's going to hurt. They really wanted to push in there. They had the speed boost. They were enough. They had enough of taking poke. JKW eats another orb on the way out. That means Vonethil's going to have his teleporter up. The alt charge by this defensive poke has been absolutely phenomenal. They're all very close to it. Teleporter goes down.
Teleporter online.
Yep, teleporter coming back up here for Vonethil, and now take a look at Matt here. Matt almost has a Death Blossom already for the second push as the offense goes in, and this could be huge. He just needs to land one shot. He's going to be able to drop in and set them up big time with the Death Blossom. Here he comes. Wraith forms quickly, is able to avoid Harblu's hook, and doesn't even need to drop the Death Blossom as Nubris just collapses in on this.
Well, Nicholas went behind, and that combo was still back there. They're able to take down the teleporter, yeah.
Harblu, though, Alvarez is able to take out Matt. Matt is dead. Gale Force trying to make something happen here, but it's just not very decisive. And take a point like this, you do need to get 3-4 kills at the same time. Otherwise, defense can really linger for quite a while. And I'm not really sure what's going on. There's like 2 members of the offense in the back.
It's weird.
It might work out, but it's very untraditional. Graviton comes out very late in the fight. Torque going to die after using it. This is strange.
Yeah, they were trying
One
to
of the weirder
isolate.
Hollywood fights I think we've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely. They were trying to isolate Kusta so that he couldn't get that res out, but the res did come in. Kusta does die eventually. There goes Nicholas. I don't think you can win this fight right now as offense. They're still in it, though.
The offense is streaming back in. They do have the respawn advantage. They're slowly putting this in their favor. Joe Meister getting a little bit too aggro, challenging IDDQD is punished.
Harblu's been alive in the back for a while, too. He's still alive. He just took out Cool Matt.
Buds is alive here as a Junkrat. Might have a tire sooner rather than later. Needs to land a few more shots. Getting right into the fray of things. Just challenging the Reinhardt. Going to go down, though, as a result. And this is slow, but surely here, Gale Force is going to take this point in what has to be one of the strangest attacks I think I've seen. Lots of time burned off the clock, though. About 3.5 minutes to the favor of Nubris.
Yeah, but I completely agree with you. That was just odd any way you slice it. But they do transition here. They are now on the rooftops already. They're going to run Torque on this Widow. It's one of the few teams that has consistently run a Widow, and Torque's gotten good value out of it.
No, offense moving in. Offense does have a lot of ultimates to their name here. Defense is fully set up on the back. Oh, no, though. They are able to knock Stoop off the ledge, but here comes IDDQD off of that, being much more aggro. Pops the tactical visor, moving right in, takes out Nicholas. And defense gonna hold on here for a little bit. And by the way, I just love the fact that IDDQD, the team, is now envious, effectively. So I can just say IDDQD, the player, without always noting it's IDDQD, the player.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Nicholas off the res, comes in over the top, gets the double kill, makes it a triple. They were not expecting him off the resurrection, gets the quad, in fact.
Yeah.
So he's able to really just go forward there. They catch Nubris off guard, and just like that, Gale Force putting the game into their own hands. They're making up for time they lost on point A.
They have huge advantage right now. They're going to have whole hog to lock down this defense, too, if Hardblue gets in that position there in front of the door, which it looks like he's moving into now. They're able to take Custa off their board. There goes the whole hog, locking down the right side door.
Soup right now coming in, does have Earthshot already. Going to need to land a big one. Does knock down 2. He's getting just hammered to death by JKW. JKW coming in the clutch. Torque going to snipe out IDDQD there.
Nice
Widow's coming down. We do have a res coming out as well, though, so Nubris now that just has shakes, getting gunned down by the newly resed IDDQD. Looking for a little bit more. He looks like the Joe Meister. He has people in his sights, but Torque had him in his sight first. Widowmaker doing some work here for Torque, and one of the few players that actually is using Widow nowadays.
Yeah, they're going to be able to kind of just hang out here and get some poke. As long as they don't catch hooks, they should be fine. And Nicholas comes in. He's going to try to actually just really get on the cart and take down Bonafil. They're getting kills in the back.
Hardblue and Nicholas adding on. Hardblue, in fact, on double kill right now. Whole hog knocking people right back, takes out Kusta, and this is going to Gale Force getting right to this point. 4:20 left on the clock as they move forward. And Hardblue definitely putting the team on his back towards the end of that fight.
Yeah, Torque's actually just changing the battlefield, though. They just can't come out the way they want to. They can't reinforce the way they want to because that constant sniper threat. He's getting even more damage in here from a distance. This is where we very first saw Widow enter the meta, was actually on offense on this last stage before she became super strong and everywhere. So still trying to get some Widow going on here. They're going to come in through the top on the defense, but offense has been not slowed down at all. They've had no answers, and they're going to have almost all their ults.
No one can hide from my sight.
The defense right now being a little more aggro. They want to take this opportunity in their own hands. Offense, though, like pushing right back into them, and the defense being cautious about how they do this. They do know that they're outnumbered in terms of ults. They have to know that Nicholas has ult as well as JKW. Here comes a whole hog, though. Bud's taking matters into his own hands, but that might be way too aggro. He gets punished immediately. I don't think that was worth it all. IDDQD in the back was looking for the tac visor. He goes down. 2 quick picks here that didn't need to be picks. And I don't even know if Kusta can res him. He's way too far back. He can't. So this is a 64 opportunity for Gale Force. Nicholas coming in over the top with the barrage. Takes out Kusta. Matt, though, the one lone bright spot with the Death Blossom, able to get the double kill.
Yeah.
But this team has been dying all around him.
The res came in now. If they can just maybe stay alive, they can even trickle deaths here because Kusta does have the resurrection up. He's just going to have to get the guard. It's way too late.
I gotta say, I'm gonna call it as I see it. Towards the end there was a huge fail by Buds and IDDQD. I get what they were going for in the flank,
yeah,
but they got nothing. They fed not 1 but 2 kills, and they made that last offense easy for Gale Force.
I've never seen a whole hog used so poorly. I mean, it seems like it's not supposed to really be a kill ult. It's a position ult to really change the battlefield in your favor. He drops down in the middle of the team, like shoots 2 people, but just knocks them away because that's what it does, and then he dies super early. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. There was just some really sloppy play at the end from this Nubris roster.
A little bit uncharacteristic, but they are going to make up for time here. Will be the blue team on the attack, red team on the defense as we switch up. 6:03 going to be the time to beat.
Yeah, also Torque's Widow play, and it's not just this game, as overall been very effective for them. He's getting the damage, he's getting the kills, the infrared sights coming up for him. Now it's not like the Widow stomping we used to see, but he's getting enough to continue to run it.
All right, so defense now on the way in the red team, not the blue team. It's going to be Shake on the Mercy, Nicholas on the Pharah, Joe Meister on Reaper, Torque on 76, JKW on Reinhardt, and Hardblue going to be on the Roadhog. So no hero stacking coming out here from the defense, or that does not appear to be the case for the offense, Hex.
Well, Roadhog's a pretty good hero, so right now it looks like they're going to run 2 of them. Custo, of course, is going to be on the Mercy. Stoop is going to be on Reinhardt. Vonathil on Lucio. IDDQD for the moment is on Hanzo, and then we might actually see that. We've been seeing way more Hanzo lately. He's pretty good on this first point as well. Then Buds and Cool Matt look like they're both going to be going hog. Oh, a lot of it, they're going to need IDDQD to do some defense. Yes, Roadhog is a very good damage dealer, but IDDQD is going to have to do a lot of the damage here.
Yeah, a lot will be dependent on the Hanzo's ability to play here. Hanzo, of course, is very feast or famine. Either you get picks in the early part and your team wins easily, or you do nothing and look like a fool. That is the reality of Hanzo. It's also the reality of Widow to some extent, although a little bit less. IDDQD, though, going in as Hanzo looking for picks, and he gets him picked off immediately by Nicholas.
How did he not get healed that whole time? He took damage super early, about 15 seconds ago, and was at half health for 15 seconds. They have 2 healers. There's no way he should have died there.
Yeah, that's rough. We do see the offense, though. They do get into backline. Matt on the Roadhog, along with Buds, the double Roadhog combination. And this Reinhardt shield, again, is going to be going down very quickly. Double Roadhog, very good at crack, as IDDQD does come back into play, takes out Torque with the Hanzo, and now this is a great opportunity here for Nubris as they move in.
Yeah, Stoop charges in very deep. Is able to take out Joe Meister, but it's going to pay his life for it, as essentially is what happens in those charges. Both the Hogs are combining to get a ton of work done.
Simple geometry, gets a double kill. Looking for a little more versus Harblu here. Harblu actually in trouble, has to back out. And Nubris, despite kind of a rough start with the early Pharah pickoff, able to move in. IDDQD comes back in and gets all sorts of value with the double Hog.
Yeah, and I think that's it for Hanzo. That's probably why he used that ult there, right? Because he doesn't want to play it anymore. He's going to be going back. So that's only a first point pick. He's going to switch onto the Genji. IDDQD expanding his hero roster.
Yeah, IDDQD back in the McCree meta was seen pretty much always on McCree no matter what. Breaking out the Genji, we'll see if it works out for him. Sometimes hit scan players don't always have the greatest adjustment to more projectile DPS, but there are exceptions, of course. Probably the most notable is Sheriff4, who has great projectile and hit scan.
Right.
But players tend to lean one way or the other.
I mean, Sheriff4 might be a one of a kind, though.
That's why IDDQD getting right into the back does land a lot of damage with that Genji Swift Strike. Offense, though, they're loaded for bear. They have all sorts of ultimates at their disposal here, and Nicholas might just be looking for a barrage in a moment. Will take out Cool Matt. No barrage required. Just peppering Vonethil from the back. Vonethil almost going down. 2 quick kills here for the defense. Now, Buds versus Nicholas in flight. Buds counter-firing, though. Pretty even between the two Pharahs, but the offense is definitely getting pushed back. And time-wise, they don't have all that much time to spare.
Yeah, I mean, they were going to run this Winston down to try to take the high ground. They have to take the high ground before they can do anything here, and they're going to have to try to deal with Torque, too, whose hit scan has just been phenomenal the last couple games.
Big shot coming out from Nicholas. Almost takes out Buds. We do have Stoop getting right into the fray as Winston. IDDQD got on the Lucio, but Torque and Harblu just turning it back in their favor very, very quickly.
No, I don't think they're sending in enough to deal with this high ground. Coolmat's still doing work on the cart below, but he's going to get absolutely collapsed on.
Here comes the Dragon Blade. IDDQD in the backline was looking for Mercy. Mercy giving him the shake for a little bit. Will go down, but not before Torque kills him right after. So not the highest value Dragon Blade coming out from IDDQD.
Just got
I
it
wonder
off.
if he'll even switch off of this.
He got it off late too, because that resurrection came up beforehand. It brought up 3 that ended Cool Matt's life effectively. They sent in Stoop early, and they should have sent him in with Genji, or probably even the Mercy there too. Stoop died immediately, got nothing done on that back roof.
Speed boost coming out here. Both Pharahs do have barrage up and ready. Bud's gonna be looking right into the backline with Stoop. Here comes the barrage, immediately deletes Torque. Goes down in turn though. Not the greatest value coming out there. There won't be a res for either side for a little bit. Sound Bear, though, coming out here from the defense as a rocket barrage is incoming. Nicholas able to take out Kusta. No res coming out here for the defense now as Harblu going to clean up everything on the ground floor level, taking out 3.
Yeah, now they're going to hold this first roof probably with the combo. Well, they can even back off if they want to play safer. Yeah, everything is going right for Gale Force right now. They're not really losing anything. Here's kind of seems like maybe a desperation change here on offense. IDDQD is going to go Widow. Wasn't getting anything done on Genji, so.
And that on the Roadhog, being a little bit quiet here for the last part of the game. Time-wise, there's not that much time left here for Nubris. They really need the win on this next fight, or it'll probably be over. Here comes Torque, though, on the tac visor. He's gotten so much value on it today. Here so far, Harblu in the back takes out Cool Matt. And they're just going to push the offense back once again, although IDDQD on the Widow picks off 2.
Nice.
So the surprise Widow pick here, doing a little bit of work. IDDQD almost has recon sight. And they're going to take out Harblu, and this Widow right now actually opening the door for Nubris.
Those back boys.
One after another.
As long as Cuzza stays alive, they should have no problem finishing out this point. He's got Resurrection coming at him too. I think that, well, here may be a res from Shake. Wow, really late.
Ooh. It's a late res. It's going to buy them some extra time. I'm not sure it's worth it. Oh my goodness, Nicholas just getting domed by IDDQD. But Buds coming in with the barrage, takes out 3 right over the top, supporting that Widow fire. And now, with about a minute 30 left, minute 15, there's still a chance for Nubris to beat the time, though, set by Gale Force.
Yeah, IDDQD Sniper has done so much work here. They're way far forward. Buds and Cool Matt are super forward. Cool Matt is on that Tracer. Pulse bombs.
IDDQD takes out Shake. So this might be in the middle of the collapse right now for Gale Force. They keep bleeding deaths. They're giving into Nubris' momentum here, and this is rough, as now Nubris with a real opportunity. 50 seconds remaining here as they push the cart forward.
Yeah, they're going to come through top, which is really smart. You never want to get dropped down by a Reaper, so you want to at least get eyes up there. Here comes the drop in from Harblu. Gets Vonethil, but that's it.
JKW, though, getting in. Widowmaker going to bite the dust. 2 quick kills here from the defense, and this is really all they need if they can just finish this fight out cleanly, it's probably going to slam the door on Nubris, because Nubris only has about 28 seconds left. So even if this went well for them right now, I'm not even sure they could get to the end at the moment.
Likely not, and I think that's why Gale Force is just fighting wherever they feel like it, because they know if they can trade out here, it's going to be enough to stall out the map. They have to be a little careful to not get completely wiped, though. IDDQD going off again, takes out both Reapers.
Here comes the barrage from Buds. Great mobility to get to the backline. Takes out two. Time-wise, there's only 5 seconds left, though, so they should not have enough time to get here to the end. Especially since Gale Force now is coming out with the patented multi-diva delay that will stall things out just by default for a little bit longer.
Super close, though.
It's really close. Nubris had a really good showing towards the end. Unfortunately, they did get stalled out for a while, and that stall was just enough for Gale Force to make this map their own.
I think next time they play offense on Hollywood, they won't bother with a Genji. It didn't do much for him. They seemed really uncoordinated on that push, and then when he went on Widow, he's been absolutely cleaning up on it.
I tend to agree. It definitely did not get most fine. Hardblue right now trying to build up the Zero Suit Diva ult, not going to get it. And Nubris, even though they're coming in, this time will undoubtedly be a slower time. So, Gale Force taking map number 1, and they're still coming out for delay. This is delay practice right now.
Right.
Diva's getting on set point, then some.
Oh.
As well as Tracers. Diva Tracer delay. It's a mix of the two that really helps. Because Diva has delays, but... Oh no, here comes the Diva explosion. Is this gonna kill anyone? It does take out Cool Matt.
Man, remember when Diva used to delay even harder because her mech didn't disappear right away?
The mech didn't disappear and it counted as something on the point. It was terrible.
Yeah.
She goes use it as cover after falling out too. It's so annoying. But time-wise, I'm just interested to see how long Gale Force can delay here. Certainly they've bought themselves enough time, but we're not going to stop the teams as they fight it out. Just seeing how long Gale Force can delay using this multi-diva tracer strategy is actually very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of delay the last couple days, even with the new format, because teams have just been kind of wiped towards the end. They are going to call GGs now.
So GGs are called officially. They're going to stop delaying, but who knows how long Gale Force could have delayed here. I like the multi-tracer diva delay. Not going all in on the tracers or all in on the divas.
Yeah.
Using the mix of the two to really buy themselves a lot of time.
I mean, Tracer has an effective 300 HP if you use her rewind perfectly. Well, I mean, 249 or 299 HP.
All right, guys, you did not hear a coin flip. That was not a thing. It is Gale Force's map. Do not be fooled. Gale Force going up 1-0 against Nubris. Both teams having some good looks here. I think Nubris played it close, but clearly having some issues, especially in the streets phase of Hollywood. I tend to agree with you. I think the Genji pick for them did not really work out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what IDDQD's comfort level is on that. I think it's something that you see in the meta a lot of just like, this is a good hero for this section. We're going to try to run one of our DPSs on it. But sometimes I think just going with what you're more comfortable with is always the better choice. He didn't look super comfortable on Genji. Some of the timings were off there. Stoop died needlessly once or twice. They're trying to take the rooftop alone. Winston can maybe do that, but I think a lot of times you just want to jump in and jump out. He stayed a little too long, so they just kind of staggered some deaths there at the second stage. But I mean, the Widow play came out from both teams and looked phenomenal. So we might be seeing teams getting a little more comfortable with our favorite sniper, and she's maybe back in the meta. I mean, Torque has been running it for the last week or so.
Oh, and it is happening, Hex. The favorite map of mine to sell out on, the legendary organic oil. It is going to be Numbani. Let's go. We have not seen Numbani all day, so definitely good to see it in the map pool here right now. The last map, if Nubris is able to win here in Numbani, will be Lijiang, which we've seen a lot of today.
If you like Diva, you might actually see Diva played without being a delay method. We've seen a lot of Diva on offense to take this first point. You run her into Winston, you go way through the back line, up over through the top, and just start causing all sorts of chaos back. You don't let the 76 hang up there alone. Oftentimes, if they're running a Torb, Diva's really good against that too. So one of the very few maps where she's played in a serious fashion. So if you're a big Diva fan, definitely you should be always rooting for Numbani.
Alrighty, so Numbani about to be underway. Gale Force deciding to choose to be on the attack first, and that does happen. It's interesting, though, because we have some teams like Team Liquid that prefer to be on the defense first, so there is differing thoughts in the comp scene as to, do you want to defend, do you want to attack?
Yeah.
Teams can vary it up at their own discretion.
Yeah, definitely a stylistic choice there. So we have no idea what this offense is going to do. Hardblue on a I mean, we have seen offensive Bastion, but that's a time... It's a conversation for when things get a little closer to when they actually have to leave their spawn. I do think we will see Bonathil on this Torb, though. We've seen so much Torb on Numbani. Yeah, it's going to be interesting where he places his turret. There's several different schools of thought where to put it. High ground, low ground, back on this pillar here, which seems specifically designed for it to be set on. So where he sets up is going to be interesting. And they are going to run a solo support after that too, so no Lucio coming out. It is going to be Vonathil on the tour. Buds is going to play. The Roadhog Custa, of course, will be on that Mercy. Stoop on a defensive Winston. IDD QD on Soldier 76. Cool Mats right now on the defensive Tracer. We also see a little bit more Tracer on this map too.
I think defensive Tracer definitely has a place in the game right now. I think we'll see it come out more and more often. It's just good for delaying teams in the back. It's a threat that they have to deal with. It is high risk, high reward. If your Tracer gets picked off, then you have to fight 6v5 and it's terrible, but there's a lot to be said for a defensive Tracer. Meanwhile, though, take a look here at the offense as they set up. It's going to be Nicholas on the Pharah, Torque on the Hanzo, Harblue potentially on the offensive Bastion. I'm not writing it out as a troll just yet. JKW on the Mei, which will not be a case. He's going to be on Reinhardt. Joe Meister on Lucio, and Shake on the Mercy. And they're switching up, actually. Harblue, in fact, they're fully switching up, so they're actually going double Winston. So let's just retake here. Trolled here by the offense. Double Winston, Nicholas and JKW on it. Diva coming out, so triple tank with a Genji, Lucio, and Mercy. Let's go.
They're just going to bomb this high ground so hard. That's really all they're going to do. Mercy's probably even going to go with him, which I really like.
Winston going right in. Diva getting hooked right back. I don't know if that was the highest value hook. Both Winstons, though, getting in down and dirty. Kusta dying immediately, so there will be no res here for the defense. But overall, Coolmat is feasting. He's had double, now a triple kill for defensive Tracer. Already has a pulse bomb. Oh my goodness. We'll go down to Zero Suit Diva, though, of all things, as the offense still trying to make their presence known.
Zero Suit Diva's terrifying. And that pistol. Okay, so the offense just kind of totally screwed up their push in there. It was a lot because Shake was unable to get in with the people who went in over the top, so he died needlessly alone on the point, which is unable to get his Guardian Angel up there. But Torque is able to totally neutralize Bonifest.
You see the Dragon Blade coming out already for Torque. Torque builds it quickly. Already took out IDD QD, looking for a little bit more. Slicing and dicing. Not able to kill the Roadhog just yet, but will eventually take down Stoop. 2 kills here for the Genji. Still alive, still full HP, still laying in the damage. And a pretty good offensive from Gale for us to take it on their second attempt.
Yeah, they take it super quick. IDD QD switched to Tracer here. I wonder if they're going to run 2 of them, or they're just going to switch up off of the heroes. That might have been to try to stall it out, but it looks like they're just going to run double Tracer on defense. Maybe in response to the double Winston, it can be okay against it. Actually, Cool Matt is going to switch to Reaper.
Not that surprising to see Cool Matt switch to Reaper, although interesting enough to see IDD QD on the Tracer or that. I guess Cool Matt's always had a very fearsome Reaper, even by Reaper standards, so I guess maybe they just feel like even though his Tracer's pretty good, it's better to have him on Reaper if they're going to be running one.
Speaking of double Tracer, we do see 2 of them from the offense. It's shades of old days with Nicholas and Torque running double Tracer.
Really is shit. That's when we first saw them in their coats on, but Cool Matt ill again to the back line, gets a double kill, takes out both Tracers. Sunbearer coming in. Matt not really caring too much. Will have to Wraith form away. Now as Diva on the side, it's going to land shot for shot, builds up a whole ton of ult in the process. But the offense Gale Force isn't doing the worst here as Torque going to kill out Cool Matt from behind.
Yeah, Cool Matt was just probably unable to get out there. He was 1 amongst 5 there, just kind of in a rough spot there. You're not going to be able to take down all 5 of the players. Torque and Hardblue combine to get a couple kills. These double Tracers are doing a ton of work. There's been no answers so far on defense. IDDQD is going to come up with 76. I think it's the right call. You can't single Tracer against double Tracer, especially if they're working well together. IDDQD goes to his old comfort spot. He's on McCree. Buds comes up as defensive Widow. They got to find something.
I gotta say, this is rough for Nubris right now. Nubris is getting run right over. Yeah. They're not able to hold, and this is a very fast time count from Gale Force, and the double Tracer combo of Nicholas and Torque is dangerous indeed. Pulse Bomb coming into the back line. Nicholas and Nino landed. Torque 1 for 1 as well, but either way, the offense getting right into it. IDDQD, though, able to beat Tracer control, takes out Nicholas. 5v5, both teams getting into it, as IDDQD not able to take out Torque. Oh, here comes Matt, though, from the bushes. In comes the Reaper. Only gets 1 kill off that. Was not the highest value they might have been looking for. Will take out JKW in the back. Res coming up for the defense. The defense now just struggling to stabilize. Gale Force giving everything they can handle and more as the Tracer is about to be right back into this fight.
Yeah, they just kind of need to fight as a unit. I'm seeing all these people die left and right, and no one's ever near Stoop. So if you're going to have a Reinhardt, then use his shield, play with him, hang out behind him. And of course, the fight is being forced behind them now as a Primal Rage come in. But Buds takes out Nicholas early on. Looks like they might be able to get their feet under him. These double Winstons are giving them problems too, though.
Zombie coming out here from both sides. Everyone dropping the beats, going into it. As IDDQD getting into it, Bud's taking out Joe Meister. Down goes Harblu, very back and forth. Pulse bombs on the Stoop. Stoop somehow alive, was able to get the shield on in time. Down goes Torque. IDDQD's been doing a pretty good job as McCree in the back here. And here comes the Deadeye. It's High Noon. Going to get sort of ruined by the Winston shield, though, as very back and forth on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, they resurrected both these Winstons. They thought maybe they could stall out and get some reinforcements from their Tracers, but it was a little too late. They are going to switch up now, as I think the double Winston has lost its value here. Hardblue and JKW both going to switch onto more traditional tanks into Roadhog and Reinhardt, too. So they're going to have to slow push this. They tried to ride their momentum all the way through last, but then once you get stalled out, pushing last with that kind of composition doesn't generally work out.
Death Blossom is ready.
Pullman right now just staying here on the high ground, looking for a Death Blossom opportunity. Unfortunately, he's going to run into pretty much the entirety of the Gale Force offense here. Hang on, the Gale Force offense was going to go in through that top end. Decides now they want to go through the other side instead.
Yeah, all the way through
So
the
Matt
back.
catching a bit of a break there. And now he's going to speed boost in. Earth Shatter sets him up. Stoop and Cool Mech, their powers combined. A quick 5K coming out here from Nubris. That was beautiful.
Yeah, and the cleanup charge at the end, too, takes Roadhog out of that fight. Really nice Earth Shatter there.
That was great. I mean, that was a true team play, too. They knew the Earth Shadow was coming in, and Matt just backs up, goes right back in, lands the Death Blossom. That buys Nubris a lot of very much needed time here.
Yeah, I mean, they're just finally able to stabilize and fight as a team, as a group. For just the longest time, they just weren't even around their supports. They weren't around their tanks. The DPS were kind of just flanking the left and right and getting picked off here and there. When IDDQD switched to McCree, he got caught out twice because he was just fighting in the wrong position. Hardblue flanking, though. Gets caught.
Harblu, the Roadhog flank kind of his thing, but he runs right into the Mick RMB of IDDQD. Now 65 for Nubris. Nubris can be a little bit more aggressive. Here comes the Deadeye. Not able to get anything off that, though. Deadeye perhaps went off a little bit too early. Meanwhile, Matt making himself at home right on the payload. Like, oh, you want to push this payload? Welcome to crew.
I do like that he's kind of watching these stairs, though, too. You don't ever want to get dropped in on. You need someone at least kind of keeping eyes on the enemy team.
You see Harblu right now going in, trying to crack the Reinhardt shield. Not going for any crazy flanks just yet. Offense playing it a little bit more traditionally. Neither team with a huge ult advantage here just yet, but oh no. Stoop getting caught out by that hook. That is huge. The defense now going to sound barrier and trying to make the most of Stoop's sacrifice. He gets res right back up. The Earth Shatter comes in, and Stoop says, look, I may have went down, but I'm back. Gets the double kill. Very bloody between both teams, but here comes the res from the offense. It is not out of the woods yet. You have to be careful. As both Resurrection Sound Bearer coming into play, and Matt might have to be the savior here with the Sound Bearer, or Death Blossom.
I mean, IDQD is up and behind, and no one's really dealing with him right now. He's got his High Noon. He tries to drop it. The shield comes around and saves most of the team, but Cool Matt, as you mentioned, is going to be the savior.
I think what happened there is that IDDQD did force their attention back. They said, wait a second, it's High Noon from behind. What do we do? And in the split second they looked at that, Matt was able to come in through the front and coordinate. So again, big distraction coming from the back, big follow-up coming in from the front. Good stuff from Nubris.
Yeah, and they know that Buds has actually just been being absolutely unopposed here. So they're, for a moment, we're going to come up on Widowmaker, but Torque chooses to go to 76 instead. Yeah, they've looked much better now that IDQD and Cool Matt are on heroes of their liking.
W now moving in, does have Earth Shatter at the ready, going to be looking for something of value here. It will set up Nicholas if he can get the big Earth Shatter. And that's what you really have to look for here. So both teams getting to it. Reinhardt shield's about to go down on both sides. JKW, not much, a whole lot of health, will get lane the Earth Shatter anyways, as Nicholas now in the back, takes out Vonethil, and only just Vonethil. However, in terms of rezzing here, Kusta will get the resurrection off. Good note, by the way, Bud's is on defensive Widow. He's getting some work done. Is able to take out Shake.
Yeah.
As Matt gets deep into the back line.
That's the end of that fight. I mean, being able to take out Shake there after you resurrect, there was a small window where they can bring it back, but he got a little bit, you know, I don't want to say greedy, but he didn't bring up the res in time, was able to get sniped out there. Torque now still trying to find an answer. It comes on to McCree instead.
Oh, Matt is going to set up right here in the top lobby. Will actually have a Death Blossom up after a few shotgun shots. He could have it up in this next fight. It's just going to matter if he can land the left clicks he needs to.
Yeah, it's their last push, too, for the most part. And they really need to get it done here for Gale Force.
Gale Force moving in. They don't have a whole lot of ult to make this happen either. They're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, but a big Earth Shatter by Stoop sets them up. IDDQD knocking them down with the Deadeye. Bud's just piling on in the back. Oh no, and here comes Rez, but will the Death Blossom be on the way? Very likely here. Matt, though, going to get booped back. Here comes the Sound Bear from the offense. The offense, this is their last gasp. They need to make something happen now off of this Rez Sound Bear, but here comes Cool Matt rushing into the back line. Takes out Joe Meister, looking for Torque. Takes out Torque. The double kill coming in for Nubris. And Nubris is going to hold at 63.24 meters. And by the way, Hex, that's how you do the tiebreaker. If we have to remake, we just take note of the distance.
Got it. Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Perfect sense.
0-2.
No longer do we have to fear the remake.
Don't fear. There's a lot of Blue Oyster Cult jokes to be made there.
Well, we're going to be switching sides. And for those who have not seen games here on this patch, when we switch sides, the offense will, or both sides will stay the same color, so the offense will be on blue and the defense will be on red.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it. It's going to take us a couple days here and there, but it's kind of making perfect sense now. So defensively, it looks like they want to run a Torb as well. Offensively, it's going to be a lot of monkey business yet again. I mean, that's kind of what Numbani's been for the last couple months. You have to just totally try to bomb in on the high ground. The approach the other way is just way too slow. And Numbani, because you can't really reinforce, there's really never a prolonged fight because the walking distance for the offense is so long. So really just one giant fight's going to happen for the offense, or if you want to prolong it, you send your tanks up to this hallway back here so they can stay a little safer while they get some damage done. So on that defense, it looks like it is going to be Joe Meister playing that Torb. Nicholas will be on the Reaper. Shake, of course, on Mercy. Torque will play Soldier 76. Harblue on what else but Roadhog. And JKW will play the defensive Winston.
They look here at the offense as they set up. They have not committed anything just yet, but it does look like we're going to have a pair of scientists. Stoop and Cool Matt both on the Winston. Buds on Pharah. IDDQD on Genji. Kusta going to be on the Mercy. And Vonathil going to be on D.Va. So D.Va's really found a niche here in being on first point Numbani offense.
Yeah, and it's going to be the exact same thing. They're going to try to come over the top. Now, I believe you also still send Kusta with them. I mean, it's pretty much everyone's going to go over the top, even IDDQD. Buds might take a little different angle here, but really they're just going to try to super bomb this turret position, move past it, and go in through the back end.
Again, all they have to do is just get to that last point. They don't even have to push all the way to the end to win here because of the distance system. So pretty cool. I do like this mode from Blizzard, and we'll see what Vonathil does here early on as D.Va. Gonna rush right into the Roadhog, going to push him right back. Defensive barrier up, and good opening here from the offense, though Kusta did almost go down to start things out.
Yeah, I wonder if that was on purpose from Matt. He totally missed his first jump, and he went over the top. And so now they're in a really kind of a rough spot. They're way below where they want to be on this offense.
This just degenerated very, very quickly here for Nubris. It started out okay, but they just lost one, lost another, and I agree, the Winston coordination was a little bit off, and they didn't really get a whole lot from the Genji either.
Yeah, that was ugly. It was super ugly. I can't imagine that that jump was intentional from him and completely missed. I mean, the offense from Gale Force was similarly kind of ugly too, but they were able to keep more people alive. So now they're going to be going into, after this first push, they're already going into a Molten Core Torb. And a Whole Hog Roadhog. Not great.
The Molten Core in particular is going to be a huge problem for them. Aardvark does pay off, and right as they go in, he's just going Molten Core, and it's going to stall out the push a whole lot here. And note, this is why they're trying to kill the turret before, and they do kill the turret, which means that Molten Core not going to be a thing here as the Winston leaping right in. They want to stop it from being a thing, and he's not able to get it up in time as IDDQD takes him out. Dragon Blade at the ready, has the double kill. Aardvark not paying off. Dragon Blade, though, is paying off with slicing and dicing.
Well, Harlu is able to take down Kusta now, so there's going to be absolutely no resurrection. These are the last lives for the offense, and it's just Vonathil and IDDQD up, unless they can go superhero mode, which it looks like they might.
Here comes D.Va. It does cause people to go for cover, getting it back into the mech. The defense does hang on for a little bit here, but it's not as decisive as they would like. Vonathil definitely buying some time, and the rest of the offense should be back here in just a moment, as the Tracers, in fact, are coming out as they want to just finish this off right here, right now.
Yeah, they should continue to pressure this point. Vonathil does get caught over here by Harblue's Whole Hog. Torque does go down early, though, to Buds.
Molten Core coming out. He hasn't even gotten the level 3 turret yet. Oh, no. I think the moral of the story there, by the way, is that if you're Torbjorn, don't be greedy on trying the multi.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake.
Joe Meister is greedy. He paid the price. IDD, QD, and Soup Gang in here. The double tracer is definitely being a thing. Bonathil about to get back into her mech in just a moment. This should be a cap here for Nubris, and Nubris can get things going, and they still have an excellent chance of winning this map.
Yeah, there was just super greed on that Molten Core, though. Like, you don't have to be near it. You don't have to do anything. You have a little thing on your screen that says, hey, your turret's taking damage. You want to press Q to give it 800 HP? And he just didn't, ever. Huge mistake.
So see Matt right now. Matt with a very forward position. This is where tracers can really look for ambushes too if you get in on the right person. Matt though saying, you know what, I don't even want to go for this, and he might actually be switching off to a Reaper here, I think.
Huge pulse bomb in the back, takes down 3 from IDDQD.
Oh my god, that is huge. We're watching Matt saying, okay, Matt's gonna switch off. Meanwhile, IDDQD way far ahead of his team, way far ahead of the payload, finds the way in, completely unexpected. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they were all grouped up there. They're all behind the Reinhardt show because they're running 376s. He just got behind him, dropped it, stuck, took down both supports there too.
We didn't get that in the camera, but have no fear, it's probably going to be play of the match. So we will get the instant replay. Both teams out fighting here on top of the point. The offense trying to regroup after that huge pulse bomb from IDDQD. So Matt and Soup on the point, clearing things out, and Gale Force looks a little bit rattled right now as the offense moving forward. They have a res very late in the fight, but this could be counterproductive. This might just chain their deaths again here, Hex.
Yeah, they've just not been able to get their feet back under him. IDDQD continues to clean up 3 more kills.
He got right into the back line, made another great big pulse bomb. Now fighting off against Torque, going to win that fight against Torque with a little bit of help from Buds. And they are rolling right to this next point. They have almost 5 minutes to get to this yellow square, which isn't even the end, Hex.
And they've got closeout ultimates just about ready. Matt's going to have Primal Rage here, which is a great closeout ult. Here it comes. Stoop's going to have Earth Shatter, another great one to stop any stalls on the cart.
Pulse bombs coming out here. Torque getting into it. JKW getting in as well. The defense coming out in force. Coolman, IDDQD trying to do their best, but just way too many people have died here, including Kusta. There will be no res. More pulse bombs on the way. IDDQD though, gonna drop the pulse bomb on his own, looking for that triple kill again, not going to land it.
Yeah, they had a really good chance to close that out. I think it was just about a second too late on almost everything there. Primal Rage came out when people were already past the door. Earthshatter came out when Winston's were already over top, so just a little bit late from their closeouts there. Now they have plenty of time to get this, the 10 meters or so that they needed. Look at this comp too, double offensive Soldier 76s.
They're moving in right now. They're dropping beats. Soundbear coming out from both sides, both looking for some value. More also up for the defense rather than the offense. Still though, both sides still at full. Neither side dropping a pick just yet as the Winston's going crazy, both in Primal Rage. Harbo actually almost dying all that, so pretty good response here coming out from the offensive Nubris. Pulse bombs coming out. Torque able to take a Vonthil, but not before Buds gets 2 of his own. And overall, this is starting to go in favor of Nubris, despite the resurrection.
Yeah, Nubris is able to fight through this resurrection. Matt is having his Death Blossom up now. They are losing some key heroes, though.
Able to take out 2 with that Death Blossom. He's getting on top here. They're able to take out Harblue. They're going to be moving this payload forward, and it does not have to move very far, Hex. Is this going to be it? It is moving to a checkpoint, and there it is. Nubris going to take Numbani over Gale Force, which means that we are going to Lijiang to settle it all.
You know what it means is that we're going to watch Nicholas and Torque fight IDDQD and Cool Matt on Tracers. That's what it means. And I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Torque and Nicholas both really good on Tracer. And here's the big play. Dear God. It's not something you really see for someone to be that far up and get that value,
right.
But they were all together as a team, and they died together as a team.
I mean, I was going to tell them to check their corners, but there's no way you can know. There's no way you can
check your corners.
That.
By the way, IDDQD is here with a present.
I mean, you just don't expect a Tracer to be there. It's the first time I've ever seen that happen, so... No blame for Gale Force there. I'm sure from now on, they will be checking that room in Numbani every single time. So we're going to Lijiang.
Yeah, especially when you have a Tracer waiting in the wings. I mean, it was a big gamble by IDDQD, but oh my goodness, did that gamble pay off?
Yeah, seeing some more Tracers. So we're definitely going to see some of that in Lijiang. Tracer's just been very good on that map in general, and you have 4 of the best Tracers maybe in the game. I don't know where Cool Matt's Tracer game is. You know him better than I do.
It's a very good. He's really good at anything relating to hit scan.
Yeah.
He's another player where I think his projectile DPS is a little bit behind his hit scan, but his hit scan is second to none in the game. I would put Cool Matt's hit scan against anyone else in the game and feel good about it.
Okay.
And that is a high bar to set, I know, but
Yeah.
I think that Cool Matt is at that level right now.
Well, I mentioned before the match started, too, that they have 2 top-tier DPS players, and IDDQD just proved exactly what it is. I think he's #1 on a ranking site for his McCree in the world right now. So, yeah, they have the top-tier the top-tier DPS that you need in Overwatch right now, giving Gale Force all they can handle. Torque and Nicholas also both top-tier Tracers. That's really how they made their name back when they were Code 7 and Double Orb. They both played phenomenal Tracers. So this one should be good. Despite, with some misgivings about people in Hero Limits and King of the Hill, I'm actually excited to see 4 Tracers because they're all just top-tier Tracers.
Oh, they're great, and I don't even know what to expect here. Obviously, I think you're right. We will be seeing Tracers coming out from both sides. Nicholas and Torque versus IDDQD and Cool Matt. Supports coming in, probably double Winston as well, or at least 1 Winston, 1 Zarya, or 1 Winston, 1 Reaper. Double Lucio will be the name of the game, and we're going to have some very intense games coming out here on Lijiang. I don't know who's going to win. For me, it's kind of a coin flip.
Oh, absolutely coin flip. I'm glad I got to see this Nubris team, though. I mean, they look really strong, and I think it's really good to see a lot of the guys that we've seen forever just kind of back in the scene. It'd be interesting to see what regions they go in. It was interesting to see IDDQD play things that aren't McCree, did really well. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pick'em coin flip, but it should be a brawl.
All right, so we're just waiting here for Nubris to ready up here. They're saying give us a moment, but once they're ready, we're going to be getting right into it, and I'm excited to see what both teams have in store for us.
Yeah, we might even not see any Winstons. It could be double Reaper, double Tracers. Could see a lot of 76s, which is good. Good against Tracers, especially. So.
Yeah, actually, I've heard about that, where teams have run a lot of Tracer stacks, that we have heard about 76 stacks coming out to deal with it. We haven't seen it too much from the EU Cup yesterday, but that is absolutely a thing that can and will happen.
All right, well, look at the player icons from Gale Force.
I mean, they do have a lot of 76s being represented right now. There is no doubt about that.
Okay, so teams are ready. We should be getting right onto it for Lijiang. This is a decider to see who's going to be going forward. Loser's not out of it yet. We do have a lower bracket going, and either one of these teams could fight all their way back up from the lower bracket.
All right, so we're getting into it. Lijiang is going to be underway. The fabled map number 3 in the winner's semifinal. And actually, taking a look at the bracket here, I wonder if C9 has gone through Melty. I would expect C9 to get through Melty. They're up 1-0 over them right now.
Okay. Is that who we're facing next?
Yeah, that would be the next match. Would be the winner of C9 versus Melty. Or the winner of this versus the winner of C9 versus Melty. Looking at the bottom half of the bracket, not as many updates as you might expect. Things appear to be going a little bit on the slow side. Looks like there were some delays, so we will have to go through the lower side of the bracket. And in part, I mean, the top side has been going pretty quickly, so we'll see how that goes there. One Shot is up against Brother again, so there is that.
Well, grudge match action.
We're gonna do great.
Alrighty, so we're getting into it. Take a look here. No surprises, going mostly as predicted here. Looking at the side of Nubris is going to be Cool Matt and IDDQD on those Tracers. Buds on a Reaper. Kusta and Vonathil on Lucio's, and Stoop going to round things out on the Zarya.
All right, and on the side of Gale Force, it is no surprise that Torque and Nicholas will be playing those Tracers, Shake and Joe on Lucio's, Hard Blue JKW, Winston. They're going traditional.
Raising the volume. Healing boost.
So they're rolling right in. Winston's going right in. The 2 Winston, 2 Lucio, 2 Tracer. Code 7 going back to their roots as Torque able to get the first kill of the game onto Buds. Being very aggressive right now is the side of Gale Force, just rolling right into Nubris, getting the kills they need. They just rolled. They got the first pick, and they did not stop. And 2 Winston, 2 Tracer, 2 Lucio, the classic 2-2-2 going to take first control at this point.
Yeah, what was it? Jet Set Radio, King Kong?
Jet Set King Kong Future.
Yeah, that's right. I like Twinston, Tusio, Trey.
Both pretty good, but we are going back to our King of the Hill roots right now. Both teams getting into it. Nicholas just laying the damage, already forcing out that Wraith form from Buds. They're pushing Nubris right back. Pulse Bomb does go out from IDDQD, takes out Shake. IDDQD making things happen right now on his Tracer, but so are Torque and Nicholas, as IDDQD now trying to be the hero, going in here on his own. Gonna have to rewind, and oh no, not like this again. Rewind is bugging out, putting us onto another stage of Lijiang. Why?
That's what you get when you mess with the fabric of space and time. But Nicholas and TJO so far just having the better half of this fight here. The Winstons up front are helping them out a lot, and Stoop and Buds have been kind of nowhere to be seen, and they are not on, you know. And so here is some change-ups. So Cool Matt and Buds are both going to be on Reapers now.
I wonder if that's the way they go. I mean, they're gonna have double Reaper. It helps versus the Winstons, but Reaper doesn't always win versus Tracer. There's a lot of ways that Tracer can win based on how she goes in. We'll see if it works out, but here comes Zambear coming out here from the side of Nubris. They're trying to move in. Ramarangelo coming out from JKW, just knocking people back. He will fall, but not before a whole lot of damage being done to this Nubris backline.
Yeah, well, Cool Matt and Buds are teaming up now to get a couple kills, so it's the best they've looked thus far. They've definitely had the better side of this fight. Yeah, it is now 5v3. They should be able to flip this point back.
They're able to get through the double Tracer, double Winston onslaught from Gale Force, and they're able to retake control of this point, but 78% to Gale Force's name, so I think thus far, no real reason for Gale Force to switch off of what has been working.
Right. I think actually it's not even necessarily in response to the Winstons. Cool Matt did a ton of work against the Tracers on Numbani as Reaper, so if you can hit those shots and you kind of understand the Tracer positioning as Cool Matt clearly does, you can be a pretty effective counter to Tracers.
Torque was able to get in. He got the pulse bomb, the Bonnefill. Here comes the Sound Bearer out from Gale Force. They're rolling right in. 3 kills in their favor. We do have Death Blossom coming for Cool Matt, but they get absolutely nothing done. And Gale Force, double Tracer powered, double Winston powered, able to get right back in here, and they should be able to retake this in just a moment.
Yeah, I mean, you would like to have had Stoop to be alive to help Cool Matt live through that Death Blossom. He died kind of halfway through it there. Not exactly the kills he wanted there. The Graviton got both Winstons, but there was no follow-up on him. They've been struggling.
So this is now a do or die here for the side Nubris. They need to keep it in overtime no matter what. They are running out of time. Soundbearer is out there. Already down a player though. So they're going to have to win this 5v6. Easier said than done. Shake and JKW just feasting on this right now. And this is very rough for Nubris. They're just going to have to go in the mass tracers here and try and delay. Hope for the miracle.
Yeah, they're getting rocked. They just did not have a decent answer. I don't know if Stoop really got anything done on that Zarya, and when you're getting a Graviton, and that's one of her best components of her play, and you're getting nothing off of it, then you have to just really think playing the Zarya there. I just don't know if it was really exactly what they needed. They clearly didn't have the composition that they wanted there. Absolutely one-sided for Gale Force.
Yeah, and I do think in general this is just going to be pretty rough, period. And the reason is that you look at Code 7, now Gale Force, they've had a lot of time to practice double tracer together. Torque and Nicholas have played together in other games. They have phenomenal coordination on their double tracer to the point where I don't know if Nubris can match that, playing Tracer versus Tracer.
Yeah, and then you can't run this single Tracer. You're always going to be outgunned, especially because of their coordination. We saw that earlier today in Tracer v Tracer pairings, that the coordinated set was always going to win. Now you're only going to run one of them. They're going to come in a couple Winstons instead. Only IDDQD on the Tracer now.
So both Winstons getting into it right now. It is 2 Winstons versus 2 Winstons. Planet of the Apes Civil War in progress. Both teams are trading out 4v4 on the point. Neither team with a huge advantage here just yet. They're both looking for their opportunity. Cool Matt right now on the Reaper looking to take out Shake. Not going to happen. He gets taken out instead. This is so back and forth right now. Red, blue in the kill feed. Either team with a big advantage, but Pulse Bomb's coming to play. Torque gonna be looking for a stick here in just a moment.
Yeah, it looks like Gale Force is starting to bring this in their favor as they got the reinforcements in just a little bit quicker. Stoop does finally take out Joe Meister, but he's going to have to bail out of there too as he's completely unnumbered, 5-1 on the point. He's going to die.
JKW in the end actually getting some good cleanup as Winston going to take out 2, has his ultimate fully charged, and this is a problem now for Nubris. Not only do they have to retake this on one of the hardest points to actually retake, but they're behind, and they don't really have an answer for the double Tracer coming out, at least for now. Pulse Bombs will come out from IDDQD and Gale Force respectively. Neither team with a huge advantage, but the leap in from JKW is big, takes out IDDQD. 2 quick kills here, and this is going to be over before it even begins.
I think their best chance is to put Cool Matt back on Tracer. Here's a change-up, though, that might be nice, too. IDDQD
76.
comes up on 76, yeah. I mean, I think you're not going to win it with the composition you have. It's either got to be you run double Tracers and hope you're just going to outplay them, or you got to run something a little bit different. So I think this is smart.
Well, they could try running double 76s also if they want to put Matt on 76. He's a pretty respectable 76 to go along with IDD Kitty, but they're speed boosting, and Death Blossom can be on the menu here in just a moment. Here it comes. He's looking in for at least one Winston pick. Not going to get it. Ends up going down early. 2 quick kills here for Gale Force, and with Death Blossom not getting value, this should be open and shut for them on this fight. I want to see Cool Matt switch off with something else here. It's just something I would...
Yeah, I mean, it seems like their off picks have just not been working for him. The Zarya ultimate didn't get anything done, and that Death Blossom didn't get anything done the last 2 games, so something has to change here.
Spawn coming out here from Torque, not going to connect. Buds went down just a moment ago, though, so again, Gale Force getting everything they need right now. They're not under duress at all, and it's about to be danger time here for the side of Nubris. If they don't win this next fight, they're going to have to try and delay with Tracers and hope for a miracle. Which, by the way, they're not even running a single Tracer right now, so easier said than done. Soundbear coming out here from Gale Force. Gale Force bringing it right to Nubris right away. Bud's in the back line here as Winston. Against a whole bunch of other Winstons, but Heartblue getting the double kill in the back line. 4 kills here for Gale Force. Nubris just not getting it done.
I mean, at this point, you have to wonder if it is really detrimental to have one of your DPS players who you like on his second Tracer playing with 140 ping. Because I think you can't win that fight then, right? 2v2 Tracer v Tracer, 140 ping is really detrimental to that style of play.
Alrighty. Wait, why is this play of the game supposed to be those 3 out of 5? The lobby settings got messed up.
Okay. So we can just roll at random, doesn't matter.
It's like, it's supposed to be 3 out of 5.
It does, I mean, it's 2-0, it doesn't matter, it's all randomized anyway, so we can just roll. Do we roll until we get the last one, then?
We should, and what we didn't play was... Control Center, right?
Yeah.
So, a little bit misleading there, guys, sorry about that. The lobby setting was not set up properly. So we'll just roll it until we get Control Center. And as far as it goes here, if Gale Force wins 1 round, that's it. It is over. They will move on to the winners finals. If, and of course the other way around, if Nubris is able to do the reverse sweep, they will also be turning their favor, but reverse sweep a little bit harder to do than just winning 1 round.
Right. I mean, this has always been one of the contentions with King of the Hill and hero stacking, right? Is that really the best answer to that composition is that composition. You've seen some teams have other moderate success, but if a team is running a very good, coordinated Lucio, double Winston, double Tracer, and both their Tracers are very good, really the only great answer is to run the same thing but better, and it's impossible. So that kind of takes away some of the joy of the game for some people of being able to switch on heroes, running different compositions. It is just that good when people are playing it well.
All right, so we should be in game here in just a moment. Actually, the team switched up from blue to red. That is so annoying, because I'm going to have to fix that on my end now. Thank you, esports.
Well, they're going to have to keep rolling here for a while. Well, unless we get good luck. We don't have our regular admin here.
Yeah, we don't have Shane here. Where is Dvex?
He's in chat somewhere.
So we'll roll until Control Center. This is not over just yet, though Gale Force has certainly put themselves in a very good position.
Do we get it? Nope.
Get it?
No.
Nope. Prepare yourselves. Rerolls are coming.
This is exciting, though. Maybe there's a gambling addiction involved here, but I think it's exciting. Do we get it? Do we get it?
You're loading in quicker than I am.
Nope.
Nope. Night market again. I'm just waiting for the anti-dream to happen where we roll like 12 times and still don't get it.
You're just trying to
be a thing.
You're setting us up for all sorts of curses today.
I'm okay with that.
Prepare to attack.
Nope.
Nope.
It's weird that you can't set it to a specific stage.
3rd time is not the charm hex.
Yeah, apparently not.
Come on, Control Center. Then after that, it doesn't matter. Then it's all good.
After that, it'd be random anyway. Nope. Night market.
All right, we are 0-4 right now. Will we get 0-5?
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
RNG, please be in our favor. We pray to thee. We got it.
Yeah, Hardblue asked nicely, and he got it.
He said, Blizz, please, and Blizzard listening says, okay, you know what? We can deal with this. This is fine.
All right, so it looks like that is going to be what they're going to do, what I've been talking about. Cool Matt and IDDQD are going to play double Tracer. It's maybe not ideal, maybe not what they want to do, maybe they're not happy about it, but I think it gives them their best shot. And if that fails, we could see them run something kind of goofy. I wouldn't be stunned to see a Pharah come out anywhere here either. just because it's a good stage for it, and then you're already back against the wall. They are down 2-0. We had to reset the map because the lobby was incorrect, but that is what it is. Their back is against the wall is Nubris here. If they lose this, they're going to the lower bracket.
Lower bracket now placing on B. Very close games between both teams here thus far, but thus far, Nubris not really finding an answer to the double tracer coronation of Gale Force. They have two really good tracers at Coolman and IDD QD, but even though they're both individually great, I feel like Nicholas and Torque just have slightly better coordination because they have run double tracer together probably much more often than Coolman and IDD QD have.
Yeah, they're definitely their home hero, and yeah, Nubris is part to their name, kind of a newish roster.
So both teams getting into it right now. All Winston's leaping in as IDD QD able to take out Joe Meister, start the soft 65 in favor of Nubris. JKW striking right back. Both teams down to Lucio, and now both Lucios are dead for Nubris, and this is going to spell perhaps a very quick cap here for Gale Force, as once the Lucio healing is dead, the rest of the team is soon to follow.
Yeah, I think maybe Coolman and IDDQD went a little too deep there trying to pick up kills in the back line. They did get a couple kills, but, you know, at what cost? I think they need to be a little more coordinated, stick with your Lucios a little longer. Yes, the Winstons jump in, you don't want to generally hang out with them, but if the Winstons jump in, just stick together and punish them for coming in too far.
That's a torque right now on the Tracer, still about to have a pulse bomb up. Same with Coolman IDD QD, so explosives going to be thrown in just a moment. Both teams still full strength as they get into this. Winston's everywhere, Tracers everywhere. Stoop, though, going to come in the clutch, gets the double kill. Harbler, though, goes right back. Both Lucios are down now for Nubris. And Nicholas and Torque coming right in, as only Tracers now remaining for the side of Nubris.
Yeah, Harbler's going to come in the end because he died really early in that last fight. He's smart to get out right there because he was not long for this world. He does get out, but now the reinforcements are coming in from both sides.
The fight is renewed, both sides getting into it. It is really back and forth. Tracers and Winstons again everywhere. Shields here, lightning there, blinks everywhere. It is a chaotic mess right now as Torque gets in. Lands a big pulse bomb, does not quite get the kill though. Primal Rage going to save him at the moment.
JKW actually probably the play of the game so far. Saved that point from be flipping over at last second with a leap. Everyone else had kind of forgotten about it, and it was almost going to be Nubris' point there, but he jumps into the last second, pops Primal Rage to stall it out, gives them time to pop Sound Barrier and keep that point.
Sound Barrier comes out here from Nubris. Nubris definitely feeling time pressure. They need to retake this. They need to start building percentage, or it's not going to end in their favor. Winston does get stuck by a bomb from IDD QD. They're moving in, but Nicholas gets the all-important first kill. Sound Barrier now out for Gale Force. Gale Force trying to turn their favor as IDDQD annihilating Lucios in the backline. So Nubris with those Lucio picks from IDDQD might be able to turn this back in their favor.
They should be able to flip it here, but here comes the Primal Rage yet again. It's from Harbler. It's going to at least stall this point out. They're getting 0% on it right now, and now this is buying time for the rest of the team to come in. It's still 95%.
Well, the war of Jet Set King Kong Future continues right now. Certainly Nubris with a little bit more momentum right now, but Gale Force coming right back in. They're starting to turn this more in their favor. It is so back and forth right now, but Gale Force in the driver's seat because even if they lose this right now, they will have another 99% to come right back. And more so than that, even if they lose a round, they still have 2 rounds to go as well.
Yeah, playing with house money right now. They don't have to do anything out of the ordinary, just keep playing what they're doing. Coolmat does take down JKW, but Joe Meister and Torque going to be able to reinforce this. It's just going to go on for a while.
There's a lot of Winston sleeping in, a lot of Tracers coming in. A big pulse bomb on the buds. Team Rocket is blasting off again. Just gets blown into the sky, hits the dirt. Here comes Sound Barrier coming out from Gale Force, moving right in.
Oh, let's break it.
They can get more 2 kills here. They can turn this in their favor, but in comes the Sound Barrier out from inside Nubris, so right back we go. Though Torque is able to take out IDDQD. Oh my goodness, this is just blustery all around. A pulse bomb comes out. Gale Force, though, starting to turn this in their favor. Nubris slowly getting pushed off the point as both their Lucios are dead.
Yeah, Harbler's going to get credit for those cleaves. It's just desperation now as Coolmat comes in to stall it out. He does get on the point. There is another stall out waiting. That's IDDQD. He gets there late. He was there.
So he gets there too late, and that's a 3-0 here on Lijiang in favor of Gale Force. And we are going to be moving on to the winners finals.
Yeah, that is GG, and I believe I would be surprised if Cloud9 didn't move on, but we'll double check that, and we'll be getting into that game next. Gale Force versus Cloud9.
They were up 1-0, so it's pretty darn likely that they are going to be in the driver's seat. We'll double check here in just a moment, but because if Melty were able to even take a map off C9, it would be just totally unprecedented.
It'd be big news. I still only have 1-0 on my bracket here.
They have 1-0. In fact, I'm going to take a look at my friends list. Their custom game is ending.
Okay, so we'll
I'm going to ask Adam right now, did you guys win? Very scientific. And this is where we're like, no, we lost. We're going the third map. I'm going to feel like a terrible person.
Well, while you check on that, I believe we have used all our coupon codes, so thank you everyone for donating to our Matcherino page with the coupon code GGNA14. Check if it's still, I think it's been used, but if you're there and you want to throw that coupon code in, that's great. If you feel like donating to the prize pool, which goes directly to the players, please do so as well. We will read your message on the air, as long as it's somewhat appropriate. We have reached most of our goal. We're at $1,115 in the total prize pool. That goes directly to the players, directly to the prize pool. So thank you everyone for participating in our Matcherino. Of course, that initial prize pool is furnished by our wonderful sponsors G2A, Roccat, OWKings.com, and PFGG. You know what G2A is. You get codes for games for a little bit cheaper than they sell normally. Roccat gives you all the good gear for your computer setup. If you sit at your computer as much as I do, you definitely want good gear for it. OW Kings is that premium OW content learned from players who play the game at the highest levels, and we have a coupon code for that. I think it's GOSU. Gives you 10% off any sort of subscription. And PFGG is for people who play Overwatch who also like to party and play in parties with people who Overwatch.
So we're going to do here, we're going to take a quick break, but apparently now, being told by Adam, C9 did win, but they did not win in 2. They won in 3. They won 2-1 over Melty, which means that Melty was able to take a map off C9, so that is interesting. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment with the winners finals. Is going to be C9 versus Gale Force. Should be a good one. This is the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly NA Cup. I'm ZP. That's X. Back in just a moment.